From body of work to website ready in mere minutes, okay? Mere minutes is what I want to show off today. And I love this conceptually, what this portends to where software and AI is going and how big of an impact it's going to help make in your guys' businesses. Because throughout all the years that I've been doing this, I realized that you guys never know for sure, right? You never know if the body of work that you have in a macro is going to be a hit or it's going to be a dud. You don't know if a new series, a new body of work is going to be a good direction for you or not, right? Is this body of work that I've just created, is it ready to sell? Is it going to sell? Is it going to go? Will it sell, period, right? And I feel like these questions never go away, regardless of where you guys are in your journey, whether you've never sold anything at all, whether you're starting to see some success, whether things are heating up, whether you are absolutely doing incredibly well, or anything in between, okay? Or anything in between. And I think one of the great promises of what AI can do, and I'm about to show you this, walk you through it step by step, is just how quickly you can hit the ground running now with this stuff, right? What artists most normally do, you're a photographer, you have a hard drive full of images, you're like, those are really cool, I want to retouch them and I'll get to them when I get to them. Or an artist, you're working on a new series and you have a couple of pieces, right? It's like, okay, well, maybe you're going to post a few photos to the socials and then hope that magic moment happens, right? That people start throwing money at it and they're banging your door down and saying, oh my gosh, I want this, I want this, I want this, right? And so I wanted to show just how easy this is going to be for you guys in the future going forward, whether you've never built your website and you need to have one, or whether you've got a website and you're like, okay, what can be some next steps that I need to do? And for this example, I'm using my buddy Matthew Locka. If you guys don't know him, super talented portrait painter. Okay, I think he's one of the best, the best in the game with his talent and how he does it and how it goes about it. Great level of success, celebrity collectors, numbers of shows hung in the whole thing, right? So, okay, great. He's got all of that going on. And I had a phone conversation with him, and he's been in on this new series where he's doing these charcoal things, right? And I'm like, these charcoal things, Matthew, these things are incredible, okay? These things are absolutely incredible. You need to do something about these. And he's like, well, I just don't know. I don't know, am I going to get traction with them or am I not going to get traction with them? They're a little bit hard to sell because people see them and they think this, that, or the other. And I'm like, okay, I need to show this in Art Helper from start to scratch. And so what I've done is I've gone onto his Instagram, okay? And I just went on and I downloaded all of the charcoal ones that he had in his series, right? So you contemplate how fast this action pattern can be for you guys, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and select all of these charcoal images that he downloaded. And this is exactly how I would approach building a website if I had to start right now from scratch, building a marketing campaign with a new series of work, okay? Creating a presentation for an interior designer, right? These things used to be overwhelming. To contemplate how long it would take you to go through this and title of all of these things and do all these things. I wouldn't even want to contemplate how much time it would take. And what I'm here to tell you is now, it doesn't have to sit on your to-do list anymore and say, I'm never going to get this done. He's got this new series, okay? This is a guy that sold originals for $40,000 and $50,000. He doesn't know if it's going to work, right? Well, let's go in and process this entire collection, okay, in minutes, by which I mean we can get everything ready to go in minutes, right? And so for each one of these, I would quickly download 3 or 4 room preview images, room mock-up images, right? The ones that I like, and I'm not going to take a ton of time to do that today because you guys have all seen me do this a million times, but I would download 2 to 3 per each one of these images. And I would probably type frame in here because I know with these charcoal drawings, you can't just sell a piece of paper. They're going to want this thing framed, right? So I would probably pick some images that I really, really like framed. I might have to adjust and tweak and do some things, but I would immediately have in a period of 7 to 8 minutes, okay, I would have each one of these original images, okay, and then each one of the original room mock-ups too, right? Done. So I am ready to go directly to a website. I am ready to completely beef up my social media presence on these things. I'm ready to present them as if they are a series, and all of that is just done in seconds, right? Because we don't know if the work's going to sell. The whole idea is that can we get this buttoned up and presentation ready such that people would look at it and see more than just a single social media post, right? Okay, number two. And before I even go into product titles and product descriptions, I noticed something which was really jazzy from his profile, okay? And he calls these things charcoal, pastel, and Nepal paper on paper. I have no idea what Nepal paper means, but already it sounds way more interesting to me, right? So what I'm going to do here in Art Helper is I'm going to hit the custom rules, and I'm going to make a custom rule. These works are charcoal, pastel, and Nepal paper on paper. So when I save that for a custom set of rules, what's going to happen is that every time it writes a product title and every time it writes a product description, it's now going to take into account that they're in this fashion, right? And in Matthew's case, it won't be super difficult for this to know who's in these paintings. Sometimes it's going to pick it out, sometimes it's not. It's like, I clearly know this is Van Gogh. So I'm going to go, the subject is Van Gogh, right? And if you guys did this, okay, instead of overthinking it, instead of thinking you needed to like make these amazing like titles that are so incredible, that are like the most amazing things ever, and think about it and stress about it and everything else, and instead you got into a modality where like, you know what, Patrick, I might go and make those fancy titles actually, but right now I'm on deadline and I've got to have this ready to present today. I need to be able to show this off today. I want to be able to get feedback on this today. And I know not everyone is going to read every single solitary product description, and not everyone's going to read every single product title with a magnifying glass. All I'm looking to do is get this like really ready for prime time, right? So I'm going to edit this one. I'm going to take that up. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to edit the details. And even like in Matthew's case, as we were talking about this, I was like, dude, you absolutely have something on your hands here. You cannot just post this on social 1 or 2 times and expect everyone's just going to see it and understand and be done with it, right? Like that's just not going to work. So for each one of these, okay, for each one of these images, I would go in terms of a workflow, immediately download the room mockups, okay? Immediately give the thing titles and immediately give the things descriptions. And Matthew knows who the subject is in each and every one of these. And so if he went through, he would do it much quicker than I am. I'm going to have to go back and look at what the names of these actual people are, right? But I'm telling you, for this entire body of work that he created here, and I can tell because I know what he looks like, this is him. But I love this little detail where he did like a one color of paint and then like a little X on it. You artists are so creative, right? But I would go through every single solitary one of these, okay, the minute that they're done, right? I mean, like, look at how striking the details are in this thing. And he's a painter. He's not even like a charcoal artist, but obviously really good. And I would have every single solitary one with the title, every single solitary one with the description. And this would not take me more than 15 minutes worth of work, okay? That is how much time it would take me to have all of that done, all of that ready to go. And as you look at that and how quickly we could do that, what would then happen if I took the entire series, okay? Image, room mockup with the frame. Image, room mockup with the frame, title. Image, room mockup with the frame, title, description. And I went and made 20 carousel posts and went and posted that on Instagram and said, I'm thinking about doing a new series. What do you guys think, right? And, you know, you can title it and retitle it and give it a new description down the line. But the whole point is to have the product ready to ship and ready to present right now today to start getting feedback on what people think on this, right? And it's like, you know, you look at the onesie twosie on Instagram and it's, you know, it's meshed in between some of his other work. And okay, great, he did a cell phone one here, some cell phone merch, but I don't know if he's trying to release this as a new series, right? If I went to his website right now, would they all be on his website? No, they wouldn't. And so I think understanding how much quicker you guys can move through a body of work to have all the bells and whistles a body of work would need, okay? the backup room mockups, titles, descriptions, and have all of that ready to go for presentation, the sooner you have that ready to go, the sooner you're getting feedback, okay, on the quality of the work itself, about whether or not it will sell, on whether or not it's a hit, or whether or not it's a dud, on whether or not you need to make some changes, you need to change the subject matter material, someone commissioned you, they're like, this work is gorgeous. Like, it's going from not being ready to present it to being ready to present it in an hour's worth of your time, and then going out and showing the world. Because if you get great feedback, then you're cooking with gas. Then you might be in a scenario where it's like, okay, I'm ready to start showing this off to people, right? I'm ready to officially upload it to my website. Or maybe it's like, you've never put together a website and you're like, am I ready for a website? I don't know. You can have everything in here set up, ready to go into a website in mere minutes. You can add the entire collection in, throw it up, and see what kind of feedback you get. You can go back today, you can go back tomorrow, you can go back a week from now. Okay, where you make edits and you make changes and you refine them and you get it done a little bit better, right? But that's the game. That's the game, is like, get it up there as quickly as possible, All right, so Casey's asking me, is there a spark where you could put all the paintings in a series and get some AI help presenting it as a whole? Does that make sense? 100% that makes sense. And that should be on the list too. Like, now that we're moving into like formal release with this thing, all of your guys' feedback is going to start getting voted on and shipped. And there are so many different ways to do it. It's like, if we integrate with Instagram, then the entire carousel could just go right out of Art Helper. Like, you would be able to just go, I want this entire series, boom, 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 put the titles on top of it, right? Show me the room mock-ups, and then go post it and go get the feedback. And it's like, how much of a better post is that? I would way rather look at each one of these individual images full size in a beautiful room mock-up with a title than I would the onesie twosies here or there, Like, our goal with all of this is literally just combining AI and software to do the damn work for you. That's what I realized, to do the work for you. And like, why I wanted to show this like whole website example starting from scratch. Like, I actually went in today and deleted everything that I had in my Art Helper so I could start from scratch and do it. But like, I know you guys, okay? I know a lot of you have folders of images that have never seen the light of day, right? And you don't know whether or not they're going to sell. And then the minute you start contemplating the fact that you're going to have to give all of them titles and all of descriptions and go through the whole thing, like, don't waste that time, right? Like, getting it shipped today is just going to be profoundly powerful for you. It's like AI gives you the superpower to be able to take your product to market overnight, right? Rather than waiting days or weeks or whatever else. So that's what I would say. CWTJD is asking, is it possible to look back on this demo again? Yes, it'll be saved on the Instagram profile. And Arlene saying, how can I find out to do a carousel post? It's really, really easy, Arlene. Google is your friend on that one, because it'll always give you step-by-step instructions. But to do a carousel post, it's really, really easy. You just type this post and then select your computer. Once you start uploading multiple images, it'll know that you're doing a carousel post instead of an individual post. So that's how you do that. And yes, I realize I talk at 100 miles an hour, which is why Google is probably the better backup, But don't put yourselves in a box anymore, you guys, okay, with thinking that whatever you have in terms of a collection or an idea is not ready for prime time and is not ready to be shown today. Like, the jump in professionalism you get from having a folder full of images versus a folder full of images, titles, descriptions, room mock-ups for presentation, like, it's night and day. It's a night and day difference. It's way more buttoned up than you think. And go and get the feedback, right? Go and get the feedback that says you're on the right track. This is really, really great. Like, you need to do more of these. Can I commission you? It's like all of that good inertia that happens from you guys shipping will happen if you just get out of your way and let the damn AI do the work for you. This is like what I'm finding. It's like, if the work is easy to do and it can be done for you, you guys can do 10 times as much. I mean, again, it's like Matthew here. He hasn't put these up on his website. He hasn't organized them all into a carousel post. He's too busy. He doesn't care. He's not going to do it. He's got other stuff going on. And I'm like, Matthew, dude, these things are insane. I showed these images to like 5,000 people in my various different presentations because I just love the look of this Nietzsche one because it's so damn detailed. I'm like, dude, you probably have a home run series on your hand here. You just need to get it all stitched up and start showing it off. And I always argue with him, like, you need to start paying some more recognizable, less obscure people, but whatever. Okay. I'm not telling him he has to paint a Kardashian, but someone a little less obscure. Neither here nor there. That's what I got. You guys, more and more tutorials on Art Helper coming. I love a ton of the action that you guys are taking. There'll always be live broadcast on all the places that you're seeing it now. So anytime you guys see one of these, please give me questions. Let me know what you would like to see more of. Let me know what you would like to see more of next. One really good thing that I did put out on Art Helper's Instagram, if you haven't seen it, how do I go find that? Like, this is such an underrated technique, and you guys could go and do this, okay, right now, today. You could do it today, okay? But you start with a carousel tile that says, "You will not believe who critiqued my art," okay? And there's a couple of different versions that I give you text-wise. When insane, insert famous person's name, criticize my art, this happened, right? You can pick whoever this person is. What surprising person said about my art will leave you speechless, right? And then I walk you through step by step how to ask Art Helper to give you feedback as if you are one of those celebrities, whoever the celebrity is, right? And do that. Yeah, in case he's like, I did that today and it didn't know who Travis Kelce was. I'm totally okay that it doesn't know who Travis Kelce is because I could care less about the Chiefs. Yeah, most famous people it's going to end up knowing. If it's like pop culture like that, Casey, then it might be a little bit of a stretch. But again, you guys, like, this hook up front stops traffic on Instagram. It absolutely stops traffic. People will be like, wait a minute, I know this artist. Who critiqued their art? I need to know. And then you have someone famous via the AI do it for you. And some of these descriptions are absolutely hilarious. I mean, so funny. I've been getting some really good results with comedians too. So that was a really, really good episode that I released. And then watch this one too, which is AI plus Instagram DMs is a cheat code. Like, I've been gathering the feedback on this one, okay? And I've got multiple of my customers that went from not sending any direct messages on Instagram whatsoever and not having any conversations to telling me that they're now actively involved in like 30 or 40 or 50 conversations after 1 week's worth of this technique. Okay, so go follow Art Helper AI, okay? And I might as well just put it on this one, at Art Helper AI, there, and make it easy. I will even pin it. Go follow them because that's like where a lot of the Art Helper content goes. And do this. This AI plus Instagram DMs is absolutely a cheat code. You need to all start doing this. You will start having more conversations, okay, about your art in 1 week of you doing this than you had in the last month because it's just so effective to open up conversations. So more of that to come. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you again shortly on an upcoming broadcast.